Hello everybody and welcome to Through the Omenpaths A to Z. Today we are on letter B, and while there's plenty of options for letter B, I've decided to go with Brako. Brako, Heartless Hunter, let's bring them up here, there they are, is a 3-mana black and green 4/3 with trample, so like already pretty good. And then whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power among creatures that player controls dies, you draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Brako. So, this is standard Brawl. I have only one opponent. It is pretty straightforward to just build what I have here, which is removal.deck. I am just going to completely try to kill everything my opponent plays and protect Brako as best I can, and try and just go pure Voltron, win the game. What's sweet here is just like, it basically turns all of my kill spells into cantrips. So you never run out of material. It's been great in testing, and I'm happy to showcase it to you today. If you were trying to bring this into another format, like Commander, I do think you'd struggle a bit. Dealing with all your opponents is pretty hard. That said, you have more creatures that you can kill at any one time. You could theoretically run like an Edict Effect or a Wrath, and Brako would actually benefit quite a bit. Sure, only one thing per opponent when you Wrath the board, but still, that's 3 things instead of 1 thing. Either way, let's see how it goes. Alright, this is an okay hand. A lot of our removal is black, unfortunately, so we do need to draw into a swamp, but we do have some protection. We do have a way of dealing with enchantments and artifacts, 2 ways actually, so that seems pretty okay to me. I did find that while at first I was avoiding running them just because, like, I don't really want to have that dead card if I don't need enchantment or artifact removal. It's just, if I don't have a way of dealing with, like, a blue lockdown enchantment, something that's just like, it's an aura that turns my, like a Hidden Mundanity, or whatever that one's called. Brako's just dead for the rest of the game and I can't do anything about it. So it is important to me to have the ability to deal with those. So our opponent is playing Gobin, or as everyone's favorite, Fleam, which is fantastic. They are also pretty just attack and get in damage and kill, because they are unblockable on their front, so that's pretty commonly how people like to play it. Ooh, we do have this. Now I'm just going to tempo at Brako. If they die, it's going to be sad, but I think that's okay. I think that's worth the risk. I should have probably attacked. It has Vigilance, which I always forget about. This was the Voracious Varmint from last turn. It's just enchantment removal, but it's a way of having a body until I need the enchantment and or artifact removal. So I actually quite like it. But yeah, I keep forgetting it has Vigilance. I definitely could have got in there. Target opponent exils a card from their hand, and then that's it. Okay, yes. I don't really need this as much because I do have my removal, but I would like to have protection if I can. And I do have the ability to remove enchantments in the form of Voracious Varmint, so I will get rid of that spell, which is just another form of that effect. They're going to connive, draw a card, discard something. What are they discarding? Nebula Dragon. Are they going to bring that back? 7 mana. They probably do want to bring that back. That's expensive. Would you ever play this? Whew. Alright, let's play the land, and time to just start killing things. Despite being instant speed, I have no trouble just going to town. Question becomes, do I throw down the Maelstrom Pulse? It is sorcery speed, so maybe it's worth playing instead of just using one of these spinouts, but I'll just use I'll hold on to the Hero's Downfall in case I get a Planeswalker. In case my opponent plays a Planeswalker. So we'll just spin them out. Boomity boom. We get to draw a card after they decide where they're putting their commander. That's why there's a delay on these triggers. There we go. And Brako is bigger. We move in through combat, and if our opponent tries to do the same to us, we do have 1 for Snakeskin Veil for the next turn, so beauty. Alright, Dismal Blackwater. Pass 2 attacks. Pass to my turn. And that is what's kind of really oppressive with this deck. Like, all I'm planning on doing is killing your stuff. And if you don't have any stuff, then I have nothing to do, but oh well, I just hit you in the face if you don't have any stuff. So the only times I have played in testing where this spell didn't feel really strong was I played against another Voltron strategy, which was able to protect their commander really well. And so it was just both of us Voltroning with nothing really to do. It was very funny. So they're going to actually zombify up the Nebula Dragon. That makes sense. Deals 3 damage to any target. Brako is luckily outside of the range. If I could have any targets with this, I don't think I do, right? None of these are incidentally like artifacts or anything. No, I guess we just let them die. That's fine. Yes, they can protect them. No, it's not that important. Do I want to kill their guy? Yeah, I do. But I'll pass. And then I'll kill it. Boop. That's why I was saying maybe it would be better to use the Maelstrom Pulse before, because having instant speed interaction is nice. We like having instant speed interaction. Play this, move to combat, attack, Kraken, and yeah, that's the deck, right? When your deck is all removal, it is very hard for your opponent to get any ground. And normally the problem with it being all removal is that you're, you know, 1-for-1ing and you end up losing value overall. But being able to cantrip on all of my murders makes them pretty good. 3 mana, kill a guy, draw a card, and buff your commander by +1/+1 is a pretty good spell, it turns out. Also, Brako has trample, which is nice. Okay, that's going to give -2/-2. That's fine. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies. No, that's whatever. Sure, I don't have removal, actually, in this case. And if they had the ability to give additional minuses, I can't actually protect. I have Indestructible, which it gets around that, and I have Hexproof, which this doesn't target. So, actually could have been an issue. In this case, it's not, because I'm just bigger than that. So, cool. I don't have the instant speed interaction there, but I do have the sorcery speed interaction there. Okay, cool. And that's game. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's rack it up again and see if we can have repeat success, or if we can see a different form of interaction. I don't want to just call that one and done. Yay, it won one time. Believe me, it's good. Like, that's not interesting. Let's see if we can get more interesting back and forth. See if someone can give me a run for their money. What do we have? But yeah, you can see, I think Brako seems pretty dang good. It's not a super interesting deck, right? Like, if you wanted to come up with an interesting strategy, you might struggle with this deck being just kind of boring. It is very one note. I will mulligan this when I get the chance, because I need green mana to actually play my commander. If they were hybrid, I probably would have built this deck mono black, although the green is offering a lot of options for enchantment and artifact removal, as well as a little bit of options for protection. Although black has a lot more protection than I gave it credit for. I forgot they had so many indestructible effects. Very cool. Beautiful. I love that free mulligan. So now we've got Swamp, Forest, as well as an Assassin's Trophy, a Maximum Overdrive, which is a protection spell, a OG Murder, and Horde Vigor, which is another protection spell. So, cool. Again, I have always been tempoing out my commander, which, if my opponent has a way of dealing with, is bad, because I pay 3, they die, I can't get them down till I have 5, But if they can't deal with it, it's great. And once they make one rotation around the table, I can usually hold up enough mana to keep them protected. Oh, wow, we got the Voracious Varmint again. Bring that down for 2/2 Vigilance. I won't forget they have Vigilance this time. Very, very cool. Opponent is on Helga, Skittish Seer. That's fun. They're a Frog Druid. I don't really feel like that card super reflects how they were depicted in the story, which is kind of a shame, but oh well. I'll play down Brako. They do have the mana open to, like, counter me or something, so I might have to deal with that. Probably I should have thought about it, but I didn't think about it. So it's a little annoying, but it's no big deal, right? Again, even though we want our murders and such to be cantripping, I'm still just gonna kill their commander. Like, I don't mind. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater. Well, let's not let you do that. If you won't let me do it, then I won't let you do it either. OG murder. Cool. Alright, we're both back to the same spot, except I have a Vigilant Tutu. Pass. Yeah, really, if you can stick one turn, it's not too hard to keep up enough mana to keep, like, at least one protection piece. But, that first turn, it is a doozy. Because, like, do I want to wait until I have 7 mana so I can play them for 5 and have 2 up? I don't want to have to do that. That sounds hard. I don't even have enough mana to cast them on this turn because I don't have a land drop. +1/+1, you gain reach and trample. I'm trying to see if there's anything that might let me ramp a little bit. There are a couple of pieces. I think there's only one, actually, that has landers. Oh well. We just pass the turn. If they do anything, we can instant speed interact with it, probably. Yeah, we got Hero's Downfall. So there is Helga. We are just going to bully them as hard as we can. This is just a bully deck, really. I don't even call it a control deck exactly. It's just bullying. We did not draw any land once again. Yeah. Honestly, if Assassin's Trophy didn't say opponent control, I would 100% target my own Voracious Varmint here. 100% I would have. Oh well. Hey, I'll just chip you down 2 damage at a time. It'll happen. Not the way we want to build this, but yeah. The deck's still functioning as intended. Do we deal with that? It's pretty funny. And we have another way of dealing with enchantments. Sure. When we finally do get Brako down, they're not going to be able to do anything because I'm going to not have any removal spells left. Hey! I'm just going to gold cast Brako. I don't think that they have any, like, targeted removal. I think they only have counters. So I'm probably not too... Oh, Vanishing Light. Okay, that's not a big deal. That's fine. Because we can remove it. So move to command zone? No, I will decline removing this to the command zone. And I guess I get in combat, right? Is this a sorcery? No, it's not a sorcery. Yeah, we'll just pass and then we'll do it on their turn. Sweet, that's awesome. That's no big deal at all. They're protected in this space, effectively. Cool. Pass your attackers. Okay, how much mana is this? 2. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to blow this up. Here comes Brako. Next, Assassin's Trophy can get through this, right? Yes. So we're going to Assassin's Trophy our Tolarian Terror. Yes, I am sure I want to pay the ward. Resolves. Auto pay. That dies. Brako gets bigger. They get a land. Who cares? They have infinite land anyway. Not a big deal. Although it is helping them pay for their commander tax, which, you know, that's fun. And we're up to a 5/4. Do they have a way of dealing with it? No, they're just drawing a card. Okay, sweet. Great, great. Oh, beauty. Let's get our boots down. So we don't have to deal with them trying to mess us up. And then we'll just get in. Cool. You know, sometimes people think, oh, there's no commander damage. What's the point of Voltron? They got 25 life. Like, who cares? It's like, I'll just kill them. It's okay. Ooh, what are they doing? Is it a board wipe? Oh, cool, great word. I see this one surprisingly often. Dang, cool card. I don't have a removal spell right now. Alright. I mean, this is a removal spell, but nothing that I can do right now. Cool, my turn. We're going to play Momentum Breaker. When this enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature or a vehicle. You have a... Sweet, thank you. That thing dies. We swing in. And they scoop it up. Yeah, let's go for 3. Sure. This, I don't want the video to be too long, but I don't want it to be too short either. And we are already doing pretty well. So, we'll rack it up one more. Make it a best out of 3. Do you know if you play through 3 of your turns without seeing the timer fuse, you'll get a 30-second extension for a future turn? I honestly have no idea how the timer works in this game, but whatever. Okay. Who do we find? We are playing against Cotis. Okay, so I played against a Cotis. That's the deck I was talking about, where I was like, oh no, what do I do against this indestructible? If you don't know Cotis, they are indestructible. They are also a Voltron threat. And if they hit you, they get to cast spells from your deck by milling you or exiling cards on the top of your deck. Do I want to keep these? The big thing is that I need a way of destroying Cotis, because A, they probably don't have any creatures that aren't Cotis, and B, that's the whole deck. But also they will just kill me, because if they hit face, they find my murder, they kill my guy. So I think I might mull to see if I can find something that can actually deal with them. I have a couple of edicts in the decks now. I didn't used to, but I added them. Corabo Black Mages, sweet. Okay, we'll keep this. Beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Play a swamp. Alright, beautiful. Let's see how this goes. This is the one matchup I am most scared of. Exciting. So Cotis is here if you want to see what they look like. Beautiful. And alrighty. The thing is, normally Cotis, even though they're indestructible, they're a 2/1. If you can give them -1/-1, they just die. Unfortunately, I don't have any negative toughness style removal in this deck, because Brako wants you to kill the thing with the greatest power. I don't think that's actually that big of a deal, because what's going to happen, right, is that when you kill something, if it's the only thing they have, it doesn't matter if it has 0 power, right? So I think in most situations, you don't actually mind. You don't actually mind the minus toughness happening, the minus power, minus toughness effects. So probably you should put those in this deck. Anyway, because we had the one edict effect, the sacrifice effect, we were able to get around it, the indestructible at least one time. Do we have another source? Not really. That's a destroy. That is a destroy. Again, we can't use exile-based removal either, because whenever a creature opponent controls with greater power dies. So there's no exile-based removal in this deck. Cotis is really the exact arch enemy of the deck, and we get it anyway! They are not willing to pay the 5 mana. They might just not even have that many lands in their deck. They're not planning on going higher than 3. They want to get Cotis down, they want to protect Cotis, and that is it. Then they want to play stuff for free. Like, if you don't know Cotis very well, they get to play things for free based on the power of Cotis if they can connect. So yeah, maybe they just got stuck and they went, you know, I can't actually even recast my commander. I only had to kill them 1 time. So mulliganing for that edict, totally did it. That's what won us the game. Well, I think that's it. Short video, but I really just wanted the point of this series is just to showcase a commander of each letter. It does not need to be any longer than it needs to be. That's a stupid sentence, but you know what I mean. So yeah, this is Brako. It is stupid simple, but it works, and it's pretty fun actually. I like just hitting people in the face sometimes. I'm not a huge like aggro plan kind of player. Let me try it again. I'm not a huge aggro player, but this feels like this really interesting mix of like aggro and I guess you call it mid-range, but it's like aggro and control, right? All I'm doing is removing your board, but because I have a commander to be the one creature in the deck, I just kill you then. Like, normally if you only have removal, you need to still win somehow. But with a commander, you don't have to worry about that. Voltron. It's popular for a reason. Alright, well that is totally the entire video. Have a good night. I am Darcy Bits. This is Through the Omenpaths A-Z, letter B, Brako, Heartless Hunter. Tune in next time for letter C, which I don't know what will be yet. I'll find out later. Good night.